And we'll keep drifting, floating together through the mysteries. 100 ancient Egypt mysteries, looping softly, endlessly, through the night. Tonight we'll drift through. Hidden beneath forbidden sands waits the vanished queen's final refuge, rumored to hold relics powerful enough to rewrite everything we think we know. Stones cut with impossible accuracy rise in defiance of modern engineering, begging the question, who taught the ancients to build like this? And deeper still, murmurs of a lost technology, strange, brilliant, and far beyond its era, echo through the desert night. Follow the Nile's ageless path toward a truth that may stretch thousands of years before civilization itself, and ask, what world-shaking secret has been sealed away all this time? There's nothing you need to do now. Just let your body sink, heavier, heavier. Feel the mattress holding you, every muscle softening, your heartbeat slowing. Thump, thump, matching the rhythm of space itself. Shoulders melting down, jaw releasing. Each breath pulling you deeper, deeper into the calm, the quiet, the dark. If this helps you rest, tap subscribe and hit like, so others can find this calm too, but only if your eyes are still open. Otherwise, just drift. Now, let's drift into ancient Egypt. The river flows, always flowing, from the heart of Africa, winding through golden sands for 4,000 miles. Thump, thump, like your heartbeat, steady, eternal. The ancient Egyptians called their land Kemet, the Black Land, named for the rich, dark soil the Nile brought each year, carried from distant highlands, settling like a blessing, mile after mile. Imagine the water, cool, dark, moving slowly through the desert heat. In the season of Akhet, from June to September, the river would swell, rising higher, higher, flooding the banks, transforming the valley into a vast inland sea, reflecting the stars. The people waited, watching the water rise, knowing this flood meant life, meant bread, meant survival for another year. Your breathing slows, matching the river's pace. In, out, in, out. They measured the flood with nilometers, stone structures with marked columns, descending into the water. Priests would read the levels, predicting the harvest. A cubit rise of 16 measured prosperity. Any less brought hunger, any more brought destruction. Such precision, such attention to the rhythm of nature, the pulse of existence. Let your eyelids grow heavy, heavier, like stones sinking into the riverbed. The Nile flowed north, the only major river in the world to do so, and this gave the Egyptians their direction. They called the south upstream, toward the source, where the waters began. They journeyed on papyrus boats, bundles of reeds lashed together, floating, drifting, as you drift now. The river brought them fish, catfish and perch, tilapia swimming in the shallows. Along the banks, the river created a ribbon of green, palm trees swaying, acacias providing shade. Farmers used shade-offs to lift water, a wooden pole balanced on a frame, a bucket on one end, a counterweight on the other, lifting, lowering, lifting, lowering, the same motion, again and again, for thousands of years, sink deeper into the mattress, into time itself. Crocodiles basked on muddy shores, sacred to Sobek, the god with reptilian features. Hippopotami lurked in the reeds, dangerous, powerful, associated with the goddess Taweret, protector of mothers and children. Every creature along the Nile held meaning, symbols floating in the current of belief. The inundation wasn't just water, it was Hapi, the god of the flood, depicted with a rounded belly, breasts showing abundance, wearing papyrus plants on his head, neither fully male nor female, embodying the fertility of the river itself. Hymns praised Hapi, bringer of food, creator of all good things, lord of awe, voices echoing across the water, thump, thump, rising from the plateau, geometric mountains, touching the sky, the Great Pyramid of Khufu, built 4,500 years ago, constructed from 2.3 million limestone blocks, each weighing 2.5 tons on average. Imagine the labor, the vision, the mathematics. Your body grows heavier, stone by stone, settling. How does they achieve such precision? The base of the pyramid is level to within 2.1 centimeters across a foundation of 13 acres. The sides align almost perfectly with the cardinal directions: north, south, east, west, deviating by only 3/60ths of a single degree. Without magnetic compasses, without modern surveying equipment, they achieved what we struggle to replicate today. Some theorize they used the stars, tracking the circumpolar stars' movements, finding true north in the wheeling cosmos above. Others suggest water-filled trenches, creating perfectly level guidelines. Still others wonder about knowledge lost, techniques forgotten, whispered into sand. Breathe slowly. Let each breath be a mystery, dissolving. The pyramids were tombs, yes, but more than tombs. They were resurrection machines, designed to launch the pharaoh's soul toward the imperishable stars. The pyramid shape itself mirrored the Ben stone, the primordial mound that rose from the waters of chaos at creation, climbing toward Ra, the sun god, ascending into eternal light. Inside the Great Pyramid, narrow shafts angle upward from the king's chamber, too small for human passage, pointing toward specific stars, toward Orion, where Osiris dwelled, toward the northern circumpolar stars that never set, never die. These shafts were spiritual highways, channels for the Ka, the life force, to travel between worlds. Feel yourself traveling, floating through dimensions, between waking and sleep. The pyramid builders weren't slaves, as old stories claimed. They were skilled workers, living in purpose-built villages, receiving rations of bread and beer, onions and fish, working in rotating shifts, 3 months at a time. Men proud of their labor, leaving graffiti in hidden chambers. The followers of the powerful white crown of Khufu, the drunkards of Menkaure, their names echo, fading into time. Recent discoveries found workers' tombs near the pyramids, modest structures, but positioned in the shadow of greatness. Given the honor of eternal proximity to their divine kings, bones showed evidence of medical care, healed fractures, suggesting a society that valued its laborers, that bound wounds, that understood, thump, thump, the worth of human life. Let your muscles release, your jaw, your shoulders, your hands. The outer casing of the Great Pyramid was Tura limestone, pure white, polished to mirror smoothness. On bright days, the pyramid blazed like a second sun, visible for miles across the desert. The cap, the pyramidion, was likely covered in gold or electrum, a beacon catching Ra's first rays at dawn. Now the casing is gone, stripped away over centuries, leaving the stepped core we see today like memory, wearing away, layer by layer. Inside, the Grand Gallery rises, a corbelled vault soaring 28 feet high, its walls leaning inward, creating a space that defies the weight above. Walking through it feels, they say, like entering a cathedral, a throat of stone, channeling energy upward, your own breath channels, in, out, carrying you deeper. The word pharaoh means great house, originally referring to the palace, not the king himself, but gradually the palace became the person. The person became divine. The pharaoh was both mortal and god, Horus incarnate during life, Osiris after death, the living link between heaven and earth, between humans and cosmic order. Each pharaoh had 5 names: the Horus name, the 2 ladies' name, the golden Horus name, the prenomen, and the nomen, each name a layer of identity, a facet of power. Speaking the king's name gave it life, made it real, made it eternal. Even now, when we whisper Khufu, Khafra, Menkaure, we give them breath. Your own name fades as you drift, becoming nameless, timeless. The double crown combined Upper and Lower Egypt. The white crown of Upper Egypt, tall and conical, the red crown of Lower Egypt, flat with a tall back and curling front. Together they formed the Shent, symbolizing unified rule over the 2 lands, from the Mediterranean marshes to the first cataract at Aswan. One sovereign, one order, one Ma'at. Ma'at, the concept difficult to translate. Truth, justice, harmony, balance, cosmic order, represented as a goddess wearing an ostrich feather. Ma'at was what prevented the universe from falling back into chaos. The pharaoh's primary duty was maintaining Ma'at through proper rituals, just governance, and offerings to the gods. When Ma'at prevailed, the Nile flooded properly, the sun rose, the stars wheeled in their courses. Thump, thump. Feel the balance in your breathing, the order in your stillness. Pharaohs were crowned in elaborate ceremonies. The king grasped the crook and flail, symbols of shepherd and farmer, protector and provider. The false beard, a braided attachment, marked divinity. Even female pharaohs wore it, a symbol transcending gender, transcending the body. The uraeus, the rearing cobra on the crown, was the goddess Wadjet, spitting fire at enemies, protecting the divine brow. Some pharaohs were warrior kings. Thutmose III campaigned 17 times into Syria and Canaan, expanding the empire to its greatest extent. From the Euphrates to the fourth cataract of the Nile, tribute flowed to Thebes, gold and ivory, incense and timber, prisoners bound and kneeling, depicted on temple walls, frozen in eternal submission. Other pharaohs were builders, Rameses II, who ruled for 67 years, constructed more temples and monuments than any other pharaoh. His name, Cartouche, appears everywhere, even on structures built by others, claiming them, inscribing himself into eternity. 4 times he carved his image at Abu Simbel, each statue 67 feet tall, staring out across the desert, guardian and god. Let your thoughts scatter like sand, blown by soft wind. The said festival renewed the pharaoh's power after 30 years of rule, and then every 3 years after, the king performed ritual races, demonstrating vitality, capability to rule. He ran around boundary markers, recreating the act of claiming the land. Then he ascended 2 thrones, was crowned twice, reborn, rejuvenated, given another cycle of strength. Some pharaohs died young. Tutankhamun at 19, his tomb discovered nearly intact in the Valley of the Kings. 3 nested coffins, the innermost solid gold, weighing 243 pounds. His mummified body wrapped in layers of linen, amulets positioned between each layer, protection for the journey ahead. His face covered by a golden mask, serene, eternal, eyes of obsidian and quartz gazing into forever. Your eyelids are gold, heavy, precious, falling. Hatshepsut declared herself pharaoh, not merely regent. She wore the false beard, the masculine regalia, commissioned expeditions to Punt, the mysterious land of incense and myrrh. Her mortuary temple at Deir el-Bahari rises in terraces, merging architecture with the cliff face, columns like papyrus stems, walls telling her divine birth, her coronation, her achievements. After her death, her successor tried erasing her, chiseling out her cartouche, her images, attempting to remove her from history, but stone remembers, and we whisper her name, Hatshepsut, making her eternal again. Above the desert, the sky wheel turns. The ancient Egyptians saw gods in constellations. Orion was Osiris, lord of the afterlife. The Milky Way was a celestial Nile, flowing with spiritual waters, stars that never set. Circumpolar stars were the imperishable ones, blessed souls who achieved eternal life. Your consciousness floats upward, toward those stars, towards sleep. Ra was the sun god, supreme deity. He sailed across the sky in a solar boat, the Manjet, or boat of millions of years. During day he brought light, warmth, life itself. At dusk he entered the Duat, the underworld, traveling through 12 hours of night, facing demons and challenges. Each dawn was his resurrection, his victory over chaos. The sun always rises, always, always. Thump, thump. Osiris was the green-faced god, lord of vegetation, death, rebirth. According to myth, his brother Set murdered him, dismembered his body, scattered 14 pieces across Egypt. His wife Isis, her love transcending death, searched and found every piece, save one. She used magic to resurrect him, long enough to conceive their son Horus. Osiris then descended to rule the underworld, judging the dead. Every pharaoh became Osiris in death. Every soul hoped to. Isis, the throne goddess. Her name means seat. She was magic incarnate, the prototype of the devoted wife, the fierce mother. Her worship spread beyond Egypt, to Greece, to Rome. Temples built in her honor across the Mediterranean. She promised resurrection, life eternal, hope beyond the grave. Let that hope fill you, soft, gentle, dissolving worry. Anubis, jackal-headed, god of embalming. He guided souls through the underworld. He presided over the weighing of the heart in the Hall of Two Truths. The deceased's heart was placed on a scale, balanced against the feather of Maat. If the heart was light, unburdened by sin, the soul proceeded to paradise. If heavy, it was devoured by Amit, the composite demon, part crocodile, part leopard, part hippopotamus. Final death, complete annihilation. Thoth, ibis-headed, god of wisdom, writing, magic. He invented hieroglyphs. He recorded the results of the heart weighing. His words had power. He was the moon to Ra's sun, measuring time, marking cycles. Scribes invoked Thoth before writing. Come to me, Thoth. Make my writing excellent. Each word a prayer, each document sacred. Bastet, the cat goddess, protector of homes. She was fierce and gentle, solar daughter yet lunar in grace. Cats were venerated, mummified, buried in sacred cemeteries. Killing a cat, even accidentally, could mean death. The Greeks noted that when a house cat died, the family shaved their eyebrows in mourning. Love and loss, even for small creatures, honored in ritual. Your breath becomes a prayer, wordless, peaceful. Hathor, cow-eared goddess, lady of joy, music, love, drunkenness. The sky itself was sometimes seen as Hathor, her body arching over the earth, stars decorating her belly. She was nurse to pharaohs, mother to Horus in some traditions. Her temples hosted festivals of intoxication, music echoing, dancers swaying, beer flowing, forgetting sorrow in ecstasy, in unity, in release. Sobek, the crocodile god, feared and revered. In temples dedicated to him, sacred crocodiles were kept, fed choice cuts, adorned with gold jewelry. In death they were mummified with the same care as humans. Power must be appeased, danger must be honored. The Nile's predators became protectors, chaos channeled into order, mummification, the attempt to cheat death, to preserve the body as a vessel for the soul. The process took 70 days, each step a ritual, each action imbued with meaning. First, the body was washed in palm wine, cleansed. Then the embalmer inserted a hooked tool through the nose, breaking through to the skull, extracting the brain in pieces. The brain wasn't saved, wasn't valued. They thought consciousness resided in the heart. Your thoughts dissolve like tissue into nothing. An incision was made in the left side. The lungs, liver, stomach, intestines were removed, washed, dried, preserved in natron salt, then placed in canopic jars, each jar topped with the head of a protective deity. Imseti the human-headed guarded the liver, Hapi the baboon-headed protected the lungs, Dumatef the jackal-headed watched over the stomach, Kebes and Uef the falcon-headed preserved the intestines. 4 sons of Horus, 4 cardinal directions, 4 eternal guardians. The heart remained in the body, the seat of intelligence, emotion, memory. It would be needed in the afterlife, needed for the weighing, if damaged during removal of other organs. It could be sewn back in, or a heart scarab placed in its position. Carved stone inscribed with spells. Do not stand as a witness against me, pleading with one's own heart, not to betray, not to reveal sins. The body was then covered in natron, a naturally occurring salt, packed inside and out, drawing moisture, preventing decay. For 40 days it rested, drying, transforming, becoming something between life and death, something eternal. Feel your own body, distant now, preserved in stillness. After drying, the body was wrapped. Hundreds of yards of linen strips, resin spread between layers, hardening, protecting. Amulets were placed at specific points. The Eye of Horus for healing, the Djed pillar for stability, the Tayet knot for protection. Each wrapping, each amulet, each whispered spell was armor against annihilation. The Book of the Dead wasn't one book, but a collection of spells. Texts varied, personalized for each deceased, written on papyrus, placed in the tomb, or painted on coffin walls. Spells for transforming into animals, for breathing, for eating, for defending against demons. Spell 125, the negative confession, listed sins to deny. I have not killed, I have not stolen, I have not caused pain. Proclaiming innocence, proclaiming worthiness, for paradise. Opening of the mouth ceremony restored the senses, performed on the mummy before burial. A priest touched ritual implements to the mouth, the eyes, the ears. I have opened your mouth. You can speak, you can see, you can hear. Awakening the deceased, preparing them to navigate the darkness ahead. Let darkness hold you, safely, completely. Tombs were houses for eternity, painted with scenes of life, banquets, hunts, harvests. The deceased surrounded by everything they loved, furniture, jewelry, food, games, even Shabti figures, servant statues, inscribed to work in the afterlife. If I am called to do work, You will say, "Here I am. You will do it for me," delegating labor even in paradise. Thump, thump. The tomb's false door allowed the car, the spirit, to pass between worlds, to receive offerings brought by the living. Bread, beer, oxen, fowl, listed on offering tables, painted on walls. The depiction of food could feed. The representation became real through magic, through belief, through the speaking of names. The word hieroglyph means sacred carvings. The Greeks named them. The Egyptians called them Medu Neter, words of the gods. Each symbol was both sound and meaning, picture and phoneme. A mouth could represent the word mouth or the sound ah. Context determined, ambiguity was divine. 700 distinct signs existed, some phonetic, some determinative, clarifying meaning. A walking pair of legs might indicate motion. A papyrus roll indicated abstract concepts. Writing itself, the system was complex, beautiful, intimidating. Literacy was power. Knowledge was priesthood. Your mind quiets, symbols becoming shapes without meaning, floating. Scribes trained for years, beginning as children, copying classic texts, learning hieratic, the cursive form used for daily documents, faster than formal hieroglyphs, more practical. Later, demotic script developed, even more simplified, used for contracts, letters, ordinary life. But hieroglyphs remained for sacred texts, for immortality, for stone. The scribe's palette was rectangular, with wells for black and red ink. Black for main text, made from soot, red for emphasis, for the beginning of sections, made from red ochre. A pen was a reed, its end chewed to separate fibers, creating a brush. Water activated the dried ink cakes. Each document began with a prayer. Each word carried weight. Papyrus grew in the Nile Delta. Tall reeds with feathery tops, harvested. The pith was cut into strips, laid side by side. Another layer placed perpendicular, pounded until the natural starches bonded them, dried into sheets, glued into scrolls. Some scrolls stretched over 100 feet, unrolling, revealing page after page of wisdom, mathematics, medicine, magic. Feel yourself unrolling, opening, releasing. The Rosetta Stone cracked the code, found by French soldiers in 1799, inscribed with the same text in 3 scripts: Greek, Demotic, hieroglyphic. A priestly decree from 196 BCE, honoring Ptolemy V. Young and Champollion deciphered it, realizing cartouches held royal names, phonetic and semantic clues interweaving. The key turned, the door opened, voices silent for millennia began to speak again. Hieroglyphs were written left to right, or right to left, or top to bottom. The direction the symbols faced indicated reading direction, flexibility, artistry. The arrangement on temple walls created visual harmony, balanced compositions, where meaning and beauty merged. Each inscription was art, was literature, was architecture. Some texts were deliberately cryptic, Pyramid texts carved inside Old Kingdom pyramids. Oldest religious texts known. Spells for ascending, for joining Ra's solar boat, for becoming a star. The language was archaic even when written, preserved in ancient forms. Mystery within mystery. Thump, thump. Coffin texts painted inside Middle Kingdom coffins, democratizing the afterlife. No longer just for pharaohs. Now any wealthy person could have spells, could aspire to eternity. The texts multiplied, adapted, personal messages to the gods. I am one of you, claiming kinship with divinity. Love poetry survived on ostraca, limestone flakes. My heart remembers well your love. One look at you and I forget myself. Desire transcending centuries. The same longing, the same ache. Humans haven't changed. Only the language of yearning, fading into sleep. Temple architecture aligned with the cosmos. Massive pylons at the entrance. Gateway walls sloping inward, covered with carved scenes of pharaohs smiting enemies. The temple as a microcosm, a controlled universe where order always triumphed. Beyond the pylon, an open courtyard, sunlight pouring down, then a hyperstyle hall, forests of columns, each carved to resemble lotus or papyrus, capitals opening like flowers, the ceiling painted blue, dotted with gold stars. The sky brought inside, domesticated. Your vision fills with columns, endless, fading into shadow. As you moved deeper, ceilings lowered, floors rose, darkness increased, moving from the profane world toward the sacred, toward the divine. Only priests could enter the innermost sanctuary, guys, where the god's cult statue resided. 3 times daily they performed rituals, opening the shrine, greeting the god, washing, anointing, clothing, feeding, as if the statue lived, breathed, needed care. Karnak temple complex evolved over 2,000 years, each pharaoh adding, expanding, hypostyle halls with columns 70 feet tall, obelisks piercing the sky, courtyards that could hold thousands. The sacred lake where priests purified themselves before rituals, water reflecting temples, doubling reality, which was real, which was reflection. Does it matter? As you drift, Luxor Temple aligned with Opet Festival, annual celebration where a moon statue journeyed from Karnak, carried on a sacred bark by priests. The procession wound through streets. People lined the route, singing, dancing. The statue stayed at Luxor for days, celebrating, rejuvenating, divine energy flowing through the land. Breathe that energy, ancient, golden, warm. Abu Simbel, Ramesses II's monument to himself. 4 colossal statues guarding the entrance, each depicting the pharaoh, each 67 feet tall, twice a year, on the pharaoh's birthday and coronation. Sunlight penetrated the temple's entire length, illuminating statues in the innermost sanctuary. Ra, Amun, Ramesses himself, the 4th statue, Ta, god of darkness, remained in shadow. Astronomical precision, architectural genius, solar alignment achieved. Thump, thump, like a heartbeat of light, Edfu temple, dedicated to Horus, Ptolemaic construction but following ancient traditions, walls inscribed with myths, the battle between Horus and Set, creation stories, ritual instructions, a library within the temple, not just religious texts, astronomy, mathematics, medicine. Temples were universities, hospitals, treasuries, the center of community, knowledge, life. Dendera Temple, ceiling painted with the zodiac, Hellenistic influence merging with Egyptian tradition. Nut, the sky goddess, arched across the ceiling, swallowing the sun each evening, birthing it each dawn. Her body a tunnel, a passage for light, for souls, for dreams. Let her carry you through the night. Every stone in the temple was sacred, quarried with ceremony, transported with prayer, set in place with magic. Walls didn't just divide space, they channeled energy, focused divine attention. Standing in these spaces even now, millennia later, you can feel something, a resonance, a weight in the air, or perhaps just silence, ancient and complete. Morning in ancient Egypt began before dawn. Farmers woke to tend fields during cool hours. Bakers prepared bread, the staff of life, grinding grain between stones, mixing dough, shaping loaves into cones, triangles, animals. Bread varieties numbered in the dozens, each with its purpose, its taste, its texture. Beer was breakfast, nutrition, calories, low alcohol, safe to drink when water might be contaminated, made from crumbled bread, partially baked, soaked in water, fermented with dates for sweetness, strained through baskets. Even children drank it. Workers received it as payment, rations measured in loaves and jugs. 2 loaves and a jar of beer, sustenance, satisfaction. Your own thirst is forgotten, unnecessary, drifting away. Women managed households. Grinding grain was women's work, exhausting labor. Kneeling before the saddle quern, pushing, grinding, pushing, grinding. Analysis of female skeletons shows wear on toes, knees, lower vertebrae, the physical cost of daily bread, yet they also owned property, conducted business, divorced if unhappy. Egyptian women had rights, recognition, names recorded, legacies preserved. Children played in the streets, dolls made from clay, wood, animals on wheels, balls stuffed with reeds. They played leapfrog, tug of war, wrestling. Images on tomb walls show their games, their joy. Childhood existed, was valued, even if brief. Many began working by age 5, learning trades from parents, pottery, weaving, farming, fishing. Let your own childhood float up. Memories soft as papyrus. Clothing was linen. Flax grew in fields, processed into thread, woven into fabric. The wealthy wore pleated linen, intricate folds achieved through patient work. White was preferred, clean, pure, though evidence suggests some dyed fabrics, just red, yellow, blue. The climate was hot. Clothing was minimal, simple kilts for men, sheath dresses for women. Children often unclothed, practicality over modesty. Cosmetics weren't vanity. eyes lined with kohl, black powder from galena, protection from sun glare, from flies, from evil eye, green eyeshadow from malachite, beauty and function merged. Both men and women wore makeup, oil scented with frankincense, myrrh, lotus, skin protected from harsh sun, fragrance masking less pleasant smells of daily life. Jewelry adorned all who could afford it, faience beads, glazed ceramic in brilliant blues and greens, gold for the wealthy, carnelian, lapis lazuli, turquoise, amulets offering protection, the eye of Horus, the scarab beetle. Every ornament carried meaning, beauty layered with magic. Feel the weight of amulets, imaginary, comforting, around your neck. Meals were communal. Families sat on mats, bread, vegetables, onions, garlic, leeks, fish from the Nile, roasted, dried, ducks, geese, occasionally beef, though cattle were expensive, fruit, dates, figs, pomegranates, honey-sweetened treats, sugar unknown. Sweetness was precious, rare, savoured. Music accompanied celebrations, harps, lyres, flutes, drums and sistrums. Sistrum was sacred to Hathor, metal rods rattling in a frame, creating sound like wind through papyrus. Professional musicians, often women, performed at banquets, their images preserved in tombs, playing for eternity, notes fading, thump, thump, into silence. Senet was the game of choice, a board with 30 squares, moves determined by throwing sticks or knuckle bones, part strategy, part chance, symbolic journey, racing pieces toward the finish. The game appeared in tombs, played with the gods, against death itself, leisure and spirituality indistinguishable. As day ended, families gathered, cooking fires glowed, children listened to stories, tales of gods, heroes, ancestors, oral tradition preserved in memories or as repetition. Darkness fell, oil lamps flickered, shadows danced on mud brick walls, sleep approached, welcomed, necessary. The cycle completing, ready to begin again. Thump, thump, Tutankhamun's tomb, discovered nearly intact. 5,000 objects crammed into 4 rooms, 3 nested coffins, the innermost solid gold, his death mask, 11 kilograms of gold, inlaid with lapis lazuli, carnelian, coloured glass, his face serene, eternal youth preserved in metal and stone. Your face relaxes, mirroring that serenity, muscles releasing. The tomb held chariots, disassembled to fit through doorways, golden furniture, beds with footboards showing bound foreign captives. The pharaoh literally trampled enemies in sleep. Thrones, one showing the young king with his queen, Ankhesenamun, her hand gently touching his shoulder, his arm relaxed, intimate moment immortalized. Love captured in gold leaf, jewelry beyond counting, pectorals, broad collars, rings, bracelets, anklets, each piece a masterwork, cloisonné, granulation, techniques perfected over generations, gold beaten thin, stone cut precise, fitted together, no glue, no solder, just perfect craftsmanship, patience, skill. Shabtis filled boxes, 413 servant statues, some in royal regalia, overseers watching other Shabti work. Even in death, hierarchy maintained, organization, order, each figure carved, painted, inscribed. Someone spent months creating tiny workers for eternity. Such dedication, such faith. Let that faith hold you. Certainty of something beyond. The treasury room held the canopic shrine. Golden walls protecting canopic jars. Alabaster vessels. 4 goddesses carved in relief. Arms outstretched protectively. Wings spread. Sheltering the pharaoh's organs. Even in pieces, the body remained whole, guarded, sacred. Food offerings filled rooms, grain, wine, bread, meat, all desiccated now. 3,000 years of time, but once fresh. Offerings for the car, sustenance for the journey. Proof that physical and spiritual weren't separate. The dead needed to eat, to drink, to live in another way. Chests contained clothing, sandals, over 80 pairs, some never worn, gloves, robes, tunics, the wardrobe of a god king. Even a child king who died at 19 had more wealth than most see in lifetimes. Inequality, ancient as civilization, yet his tomb survived. Luck, blessing, when greater pharaohs' tombs were plundered, looted, emptied. The walls of his burial chamber painted with his funeral, showing his successor performing opening of the mouth, validating his own rule while honoring the dead, the cycle continuing. One pharaoh crowning another, even in death, even in art, power transferring, legitimacy claimed. Your own power fades, gladly, letting go, sinking deeper, among treasures, small touches of humanity, a lock of his grandmother's hair, wrapped, labelled, precious, a child's chair, outgrown but kept, toys, perhaps, or simply cherished, reminders that pharaohs were human, felt loss, remembered childhood, loved grandmothers. Archaeologists found wine jars, labels marked with vineyard, vintage, year, wine-aged decades, meant to last millennia. Imagine pressing grapes, sealing jars, never knowing they'd rest undisturbed for 3,000 years, that someday someone would read your handwriting, decode your notation, marvel at your thoroughness. Howard Carter's discovery in 1922 brought Egyptomania, renewed fascination, fashion influenced by ancient designs, Art Deco borrowing Egyptian motifs, lotus flowers, scarabs, pyramids, the ancient made modern, the dead influencing the living. Proof that eternity, in a way, works. Thump, thump. The great Sphinx gazes east, toward sunrise, toward rebirth, a lion's body, human head, thought to represent Khafre, though some debate this. Some suggest it's older, much older, pre-dynastic, pre-civilization. Water erosion patterns, and they say, suggest heavy rainfall, dating to a time when the Sahara was green, savanna, forests, 10,000 years ago, perhaps more, but others disagree, pointing to desert weathering, windblown sand, geological evidence interpreted differently. Mystery breeds theories. Theories breed passion. The Sphinx keeps its silence. Enigmatic smile unchanging. Your own smile fades. Face neutral, peaceful. Between the Sphinx's paws, a stela, inscribed by Thutmose Thoth, telling how he slept in the Sphinx's shadow as a prince. The Sphinx appeared in his dream, promised him kingship if he'd clear away the sand. Thutmose complied, became pharaoh. Dream and destiny intertwined, sleep bringing revelation. The Sphinx's nose is missing. Myths blame Napoleon's soldiers, but drawings from before Napoleon show the nose already gone. Medieval Arab historians reported a Sufi damaged it, seeking to end peasant offerings, to stop idolatry. Whatever the truth, the face remains. Damage couldn't erase it. Time couldn't erase it. The beard fell off. Fragments now in museums. British Museum, Egyptian Museum, split between nations, like so much of Egypt's heritage, distributed, dispersed. Yet the Sphinx remains, guardian, watcher, silent for millennia, silent still. Recent exploration found cavities beneath the Sphinx, chambers, tunnels, natural, artificial, purpose unknown. Ancient texts mention halls of records, hidden knowledge, Atlantean wisdom, esoteric tradition, scientific skepticism. Both swirl around the monument, unanswered questions more numerous than answers. Let questions dissolve, answers unnecessary, mystery sufficient. The Sphinx has been buried and uncovered repeatedly. Sand swallows it. Humans excavate it. Nature reclaims it. Humanity rescues it. A cycle of forgetting and remembering, like consciousness itself, drifting, returning, drifting, returning. Thump, thump. Some see astronomical significance. The Sphinx as marker, aligned with constellations. Leo the lion, when the Sphinx was carved. Orion, Sirius, celestial clock, showing ages of the world. As above, so below. Hermetic wisdom, Egyptian origin, or attributed. Truth or retrofitting. The stars don't tell. The Sphinx has become symbol of Egypt itself, of mystery, of antiquity, of the eternal question. What am I? The riddle asks. The Sphinx embodies human face, animal body, God, mortal. Neither, both. Identity fluid, form hybrid, meaning layered, like dreams, where you're yourself but also someone else. Somewhere else, someone else. Water in the desert, life in the void. Oases were miracles, Fayum depression, fed by Nile channel, creating fertile basin, garden in the sand. Crocodiles swam there, Crocodipolis, city devoted to Sobek, sacred pools, fed, honoured, mummified, Siwa oasis, far west, remote, isolated, oracle of Amun located there. Alexander the Great journeyed across dangerous desert, consulting the oracle. Priest declared him son of Amun, divine right confirmed, empire legitimized by an oasis priest in a distant sanctuary. Strange how power works, strange how belief creates reality. Feel yourself in an oasis, cool water, palm shade, rest. Baharia Oasis, Valley of the Golden Mummies, discovery in 1996. tomb containing hundreds of mummies, Greco-Roman period, gilded masks, painted cartonnage, not pharaohs, ordinary wealthy people, but decorated beautifully, golden afterlife, democratized, everyone dreaming of eternal shine. Palm trees and oases provided dates, staple food, sweetness, energy, trunks used for construction, leaves for baskets, rope, everything useful, nothing wasted. Survival required efficiency, respect for resources, understanding that abundance was local, temporary, surrounded by vast nothing, acacia trees, their thorns like guards, their gum used for adhesive, medicine, religious significance too, associated with goddess Iset, Isis, birth, protection. Even harsh environment produced sacred symbols. Let thorns become soft, danger becomes safety, inversion, transformation. Wells dug deep, stone-lined, communal effort, water shared, life shared. Settlements grew around water. Society organized around necessity. Hierarchies, yes, but also cooperation, interdependence. Can't survive the desert alone. Trade routes connected oases, caravans carrying dates, salt, natron, exotic goods from distant lands, ivory, ebony, incense, myrrh, frankincense, smells that pleased gods, that elevated ritual, that made prayers rise sweeter. Nomads knew the routes, reading the desert like text. Dunes shifted, but patterns remained. Stars guided, memory guided, passed father to son, generation to generation. Knowledge ephemeral yet eternal, like stories, like songs, carried in mind, not written, not needing to be. Thump, thump. Egyptians divided night into 12 hours, marked by star clocks. Different stars rose at different times. Decanal stars, 36 of them, each visible for 10 days, hence the name. 360 days, plus 5 epigomenal days, birthday of gods, outside normal time. The calendar had 3 seasons: Akhet, inundation; Peret, emergence, when land emerged from water; Shemu, harvest. 4 months each, 30 days per month, aligned with Nile cycle, with agricultural needs, practical astronomy, stars serving farmers. Your own time dissolves. Minutes, hours, meaningless. Only now exists. Eternal now. Sirius, Sopdet in Egyptian, brightest star, its heliacal rising, first appearance at dawn, coincided with Nile flood, beginning of the year, new year, rebirth. Sirius was deified, associated with Isis, bringer of new year, of fertility, of life renewed. Orion, Sahu, was Osiris, the soul of Osiris. 3 stars forming belt, unmistakable, rising before Sirius, before Isis. Their eternal dance, played out in sky, reflected on earth, above and below, one pattern, one truth. Circumpolar stars, imperishable ones, never setting, never dying. Ideal destination for souls, to join them, to wheel forever around celestial pole, never descending into underworld, never facing judgment, simply existing, eternal, visible, unchanging. Feel yourself wheeling, slowly, endlessly, no effort, just motion. Egyptians knew planets were different. Stars that don't rest, wanderers, Mercury, Venus, Mars, Jupiter, Saturn, all visible to unaided eye. Their movements tracked, recorded, meanings assigned. Mars was Horus the Red, violent, warlike. Jupiter was Horus who illuminates the two lands, beneficial, protective. Merkut was the tool, instrument of knowing, used with plumb line, aligning temples, observatories, tombs, precision achieved through patience, observation, repetition, checking, rechecking. Mathematics merged with spirituality. Science served religion. Religion embraced science. No division, no conflict. The sun's journey mapped to 12 caverns. Duat divided into hours. Each hour had its dangers, its demons, its gods. Ra's boat sailed through, fighting, surviving, being reborn. Dawn was victory, proof that order continued, that Ma'at prevailed, each sunrise a relief, a celebration, beginning again. Thump, thump, Nut swallowing the sun, her body arching, star-studded. Geb, earth god, lying beneath. Their separation, air between, was Shu, their father, holding them apart, preventing cosmic embrace, maintaining space for existence, for life, for us. Between earth and heaven, we live, we dream, we sleep. Inside the pyramids, carved into stone, the oldest religious writings known. Pyramid texts dating to 2400 BCE, earlier than any other sacred scripture. Words that promise transformation, resurrection, ascension to the stars. Your own transformation begins from waking to sleeping, from here to somewhere else, drifting, changing, becoming. These weren't stories, they were spells, utterances. Speaking them made them real, made them happen. The king flies as a bird, he has kissed the sky like a falcon. Words creating reality, breath becoming flight, thought becoming immortality. The texts covered pyramid chamber walls, columns of hieroglyphs, hundreds of utterances, each serving a purpose, protecting the king, nourishing him, transforming him, guiding him through dangers, past demons, through gates, toward paradise, step by step, word by word, spell by spell. Feel these words wrapping around you, protective, ancient, powerful, keeping you safe as you journey deeper into sleep, into peace. Wake up in peace. You have not died. The texts proclaim, death is transformation, not ending. You shall go up to the sky. You shall not die. Promise, certainty, faith carved in stone, eternal, unchanging, true because written, true because believed, true because, perhaps, who knows, perhaps true. The ceiling of Unus's burial chamber, painted with stars, 5-pointed stars, repeated, covering, creating night sky, eternal night, blessed darkness, where the king belongs, among imperishable ones, circling forever, never setting, never dying, just wheeling slowly, endlessly, like your thoughts, circling, slowing, almost, still, thump, thump, punt, the land of God, mysterious origin, perhaps Somalia, perhaps Yemen, perhaps Eritrea, exact location lost, but goods remembered, myrrh, frankincense, gold, ebony, leopard skins, ivory, exotic animals, treasures that made the journey worthwhile, dangerous, long, valuable. Hatshepsut's expedition, most famous, recorded in her temple, ships built, crew assembled, journey undertaken, 5 ships sailing down the Red Sea, away from Egypt, away from known, toward mystery, toward treasure, toward wonder. Your own ship sails, into sleep, into unknown waters, toward rest, toward dreams. No fear, only anticipation, only trust, only letting go. The reliefs show everything. Ships arriving, Egyptians meeting Puntites, trading, loading cargo, myrrh trees, roots wrapped, carefully transported, planted in Egypt, growing, thriving, bringing distance sacred to home soil, making foreign familiar, making God's land accessible. The Queen of Punt depicted, with unusual features, possibly showing medical condition, or artistic convention, or simple observation. She greets Hatshepsut's envoys, diplomatic exchange, royal to royal, woman to woman, power recognizing power, respect given, respect received, return journey celebrated, cargo displayed, weighed, recorded, treasure quantified, success proclaimed. Hatshepsut's achievement, rare accomplishment, proving her worthiness, her divine favor, her right to rule. Trade as politics, politics as religion, religion as trade, all merged, all one, all working together. Incense from Punt burned in temples, smoke rising, pleasing gods, connecting earth to heaven, scent that transcended, that elevated, that made prayers more potent, more likely to be heard, more likely to be answered, hope in smoke, faith in fragrance, belief in drift, let it rise, float, away. Small wooden object, found in Saqqara tomb, dating to 200 BCE, shaped like bird, wingspan 7 inches, but unusual features. Vertical tail fin, like rudder, like airplane. Some see ancient aircraft, others see toy, or weather vane, or ceremonial object. Mystery. As always, mystery. Your mind grows lighter than air, lifting, rising, flying through possibility, through wonder, through the soft darkness. The tail is key. Birds have horizontal tails. This is vertical, aerodynamic for gliding. If weighted correctly, could fly, could glide. Did Egyptians experiment, test principles, understand flight, or is it coincidence? Imagination seeing patterns, wanting magic, wanting more than we have evidence for? No other similar objects found, no texts describing flight machines, no painting showing aircraft, just this one small bird with its unusual tail, waiting in museum, labelled bird, holding its secret, if secret there is, or simply being, what it appears, carved wood, ancient toy, nothing more, nothing less, but possibility, whispers, what if, what if, what if, Let possibilities multiply, expand, then dissolve. Not needing answers, not needing proof, just wondering, softly, gently, before wondering fades to nothing. Some researchers tested replicas, balsa wood models. They glided, actually flew, stable, controllable, proving feasibility, not proving actuality. Perhaps ancient engineer experimented, perhaps stumbled on principle, perhaps meant nothing, perhaps meant everything. We'll never know, never prove, only wonder, only dream, only drift. Harems weren't as later cultures imagined, not pleasure palaces, but households, administrative units, women of noble birth, foreign princesses, diplomatic marriages, creating alliances, cementing treaties, daughters hostage to peace. The women lived together, with children, with servants, separate from king's main palace, visited occasionally, some wives favoured, some forgotten, some plotting, some content, some desperate, hierarchy among wives, competition, intrigue, power plays, subtle and dangerous. Feel the quiet of your own space, safer, simpler, free from intrigue, from competition, just you, just peace, just rest. Harem conspiracy against Rameses III. Secondary wife wanted her son as heir instead of crown prince, recruited others, officials, military officers, even magicians, plotted assassination, used wax figures, spells, poison perhaps, physical attack maybe, details unclear, but attempt failed. Rameses survived, conspirators tried, executed, their names recorded, their failure eternal. Trial papyrus survived, listing accused, describing crimes. They made writings to remove and to disturb, magic as weapon, words as murder tools. Some defendants given opportunity to take own life, to die with dignity rather than execution. Others killed, some had noses, ears cut off, marked, shamed, punished in body, warning in flesh. Foreign princesses sent as children, growing up Egyptian, learning language, customs, religion, becoming Egyptian while remaining foreign, divided identity, bridge between cultures. Some rose high, became great royal wives, others disappeared into obscurity, names forgotten, lives unrecorded, just shadows, just maybe, just gone. Children of harem educated together, sons potential heirs, daughters potential wives, brothers, sisters, half-siblings, complex family, potential allies, potential threats, growing up in pressure, in privilege, in uncertainty. Not so different from you, wanting safety, wanting love, wanting simply to be thump, Abydos, sacred city, cult center of Osiris, where his head was buried, legend claimed, pilgrimage destination every Egyptian hoped to visit, at least once, at least in death. Connection to God of resurrection, to hope beyond grave. Seti I built temple there, magnificent. 7 sanctuaries, 1 for each major god. Ra, Amun, Ptah, Osiris, Isis, Horus, and Seti himself, deified, worshipped alongside gods he worshipped, divine circle, complete, perfect. Your breathing creates circles, in, out, perfect rhythm, divine pattern, continuing forever. The temple's king list, carved on wall, 76 cartouches, pharaohs from Menes to Seti, chronology preserved, history recorded, but gaps exist. Hatshepsut omitted, Akhenaten omitted, heretics erased, history edited, selective memory, chosen ancestors, truth adjusted to support narrative, to validate rule, to create desired past. This list helped Egyptologists establishing chronology, dating reigns, understanding sequence, not perfect record, but valuable guide, cross-referenced with other sources, with astronomical data, with archaeology, building timeline, reconstructing past, giving voice to silence. The Abydos helicopter, modern fascination, hieroglyphs looking like helicopter, submarine, airplane, in temple corridor, palimpsest effect, one inscription carved over another, plaster eroded, creating appearance of impossible objects, pareidolia, seeing patterns, wanting mystery, finding it, even where it isn't, even when explained, mystery preferred over mundane, over truth, over sleep. Let it go. Let it go. Copper first, soft metal, mined in Sinai, worked cold, then heated, then cast, tools, weapons, vessels, copper chisels carved stone, amazing patience, constant resharpening, constant replacing, but working, achieving, creating monuments with soft metal, with determination, with time unlimited. Bronze came later, copper mixed with tin, harder, more durable, better edge, weapons improved, tools lasted longer, efficiency increased, technology advancing, slowly, steadily, each generation building, on previous knowledge, standing on ancestors' shoulders, as we do, as we must. Your body is bronze, heavy, sinking, strong yet still, durable yet at rest. Gold. Egypt had gold, Nubian gold, desert gold, washed from mountains, panned from rivers, abundant enough for massive use. Temple walls covered, coffins sheathed, jewelry abundant, gold incorruptible, doesn't tarnish, doesn't decay. Perfect metal for eternity, for gods, for hope. Gold working techniques, sophisticated, granulation, creating tiny spheres, soldering them, creating texture, pattern, filigree, fine wire, twisted, shaped, delicate, beautiful, cloisonné, cells filled with coloured stone, glass, creating pictures, in metal, in light, in precious, everything precious, electrum, natural alloy, gold and silver mixed, found in nature, lighter colour, valued highly, used for pyramidion caps, for special objects, for divine items, mixture considered magical, two metals, one substance, unity from duality, harmony from difference. Silver rarer than gold in Egypt, imported from Anatolia, from Syria, valued more highly, sometimes peculiar economics, but logical. Scarcity creates value, Distance creates desire. Having what's difficult proves wealth, proves power, proves connection to distant, to rare, to valued. Longest papyrus known, 133 feet, 40 meters. Recording Ramesses III's reign, his achievements, his gifts to temples, inventory of donations, land, gold, grain, cattle, prisoners, everything quantified, everything recorded, everything preserved, in ink, on papyrus, for eternity. Let numbers blur, quantities fade, details dissolve into general sense of abundance, of completion, of rest. The papyrus lists, temple by temple, God by God, what was given. 241,000 cattle, 423,000 acres, 186,000 kilograms of gold. Numbers almost meaningless, too large, too many, just conveying immensity, generosity, power, piety, all combined, all demonstrated. It describes campaigns against sea peoples, against Libyans, defending Egypt, preserving order, maintaining Mayat, military victory, divine approval, the two inseparable, success proving favor, favor ensuring success, circular logic, but comforting, but reassuring, but necessary, for belief, for hope, for peace. The document ends with Ramesses dying, calling his son, final words, instructions, wisdom. Heed the words, follow the path, maintain the temples, father to son, king to heir, man to boy, mortality facing, eternity hoping, legacy passing, generation to generation forever, always, continuing, like breath, like sleep, like life. This papyrus helped us understand economy, religious practice, royal administration, window into system, into daily operation, into how it worked, how it functioned, how empire ran for centuries successfully until it didn't, until it ended, until silence. But while it lasted, while it worked, while voices spoke, they spoke of order, of abundance, of peace, deep peace, eternal peace, sleep. Even now, sand reveals secrets, ground-penetrating radar finds, voids, chambers, promising mysteries, beneath Giza, beneath Saqqara, beneath Luxor, everywhere, still hiding, still waiting, still holding, secrets, truths, treasures. Archaeologists work slowly, carefully, documenting everything, every fragment, every shard, every bone, building picture, piece by piece, patience rewarded, knowledge growing, understanding deepening, past becoming, present becoming, future becoming, one continuous flow. Your consciousness flows, merging with ancients, with moderns, with all seekers, all wanderers, all who look and listen and learn. New tombs discovered in Valley of Kings, in surrounding areas, smaller tombs, lesser nobles, but painted beautifully, preserved remarkably, windows opening into lives, into deaths, into beliefs, into humanity, unchanged, across time, across culture, across everything, still us, always us, forever us. Technology helps now. Satellite imagery showing anomalies, underground structures, temperature variations, indicating chambers, halls, possibilities, science serving history, technology revealing mystery, modern tools, ancient secrets, working together, complementing, supporting, revealing. Mummy studies continue, DNA extracted, analyzed, family trees reconstructed, diseases identified, diets determined, lives reconstructed, death investigated, science and history burgeoning, creating stories as from bones, from teeth, from dust, giving voice to silent, to forgotten, to gone, but not entirely, never entirely, while we remember, while we study, while we care. Preservation efforts ongoing. Climate change threatens, tourism damages, time erodes, but work continues, protecting, conserving, maintaining, for future, for always, for those not yet born, who will wonder, as we wonder, as they wondered, circle unbroken, curiosity eternal, hope preserved, in stone, in sand, in sleep. Ancient wisdom text, teaching maxims, from 5th dynasty, 2400 BCE, instructions for living, for succeeding, for being human, good human, successful human, complete human. If you are a leader, be calm when listening. Advice unchanged across 5,000 years. Listen, understand, then speak. Simple, difficult, essential. True then, true now, true always. Let your own listening deepen to silence, to nothing, to everything beneath nothing. If you are among people, gain supporters through being trustworthy, building relationships through reliability, through honesty, through being what you seem, seeming what you are, integrity, ancient concept, modern struggle, eternal challenge, but worthwhile, but necessary, but good. He who obeys his heart commands his own fate. Follow truth, inner truth, deep truth, not impulse, but wisdom, heart and mind, working together, creating path, creating life, creating meaning in existence, in struggle, in simple being, here, now, present, resting. Ptahhotep was vizier, highest official, under the pharaoh. He taught his son, passed wisdom, generation to generation, some still preserved, some lost. But fragments remain, enough to glimpse philosophy, values, priorities, what mattered, what was worth, teaching, learning, remembering. The wise man is satisfied with knowledge, the fool wants wealth. Priorities questioned, values examined, what sustains, what remains, what matters, when body fails, when youth fades, when death approaches. Knowledge, wisdom, love, character, these remain, these matter, these are worth everything. Your own wisdom deepens into sleep, into rest, into peace that knows, without knowing, understands, without understanding, simply is, simply being, simply drifting away. Thump, thump. Year 29 of Ramesses III, Workers didn't receive rations. Grain delayed. Anger grew. They put down tools, walked out, sat at temple, refused to work. First recorded labor strike. In history, in world, common people demanding rights, demanding justice, demanding fair treatment. We are hungry. 18 days have passed. Their complaint recorded, their voices preserved. Not kings, not nobles, workers, artisans, common people, mattering, speaking, being heard. Eventually, after struggle, after resistance, feel your own hunger, fading, satisfied, full, content, nothing needed, nothing wanted, just rest. Officials negotiated, promised rations. Workers returned to work, to tombs, to painting walls, for dead kings, for eternity. System strained, but functioning, barely. Empire declining, but persisting. Little longer, little more, before ending. But not yet, not quite yet. Still working, still trying, still believing. These workers lived together. Village community, families knowing families, children playing together, marriages between households, tight-knit, supportive, cooperative, yet capable of unity, of collective action, of saying no, of demanding better, of standing together. Inspiration across time, proof of dignity, worth, power, in unity, in courage, in demanding justice. Their tomb survived, modest, beautiful, painted by their own hands, practicing at home what they perfected in valley, showing skill, showing artistry, showing pride in work, in craft, in ability to create beauty, lasting beauty, eternal beauty that survives, that speaks, that whispers across centuries. We were here, we mattered, we created. Remember us, remember, we remember, we do, we are remembering as we drift, as we fade, as we join. The long sleep, the ancient sleep, the sleep of everyone who came before, everyone who comes after, all of us, together, in darkness, in peace, in eternal rest. Be a scribe. Your limbs will be sleek. Your hands will grow soft. Advice to students. Scribal profession elevated, above farming, above labor, mind over muscle, knowledge over strength, pen over plough, mathematics sophisticated, fractions understood, geometry applied, architecture required calculation, pyramid inclines, chamber volumes, stone quantities, all computed, all planned, all precise, without calculators, without computers, just minds and papyrus and time and patience unlimited. Your mind releases calculation, numbers, words, thoughts, all fading into soft, warm, dark. The reamed mathematical papyrus contains 84 problems, teaching computation, practical applications, dividing loaves, calculating inclines, measuring fields, real problems, real solutions. Education grounded in utility, in need, in life, as lived, as experienced, as faced daily, constantly, practically. They understood pi, approximately, used it for circular calculations. They understood right angles, used them for construction. They understood proportion, used it for art, for architecture, for everything. Mathematical principles, underlying beauty, order, structure, creating harmony, creating mat, creating balance, in stone, in design, in existence. Scribes learned multiplication through doubling, addition through repetition, division through doubling and subtraction, different methods, same results, multiple paths, one truth, flexibility in approach, rigidity and accuracy, balance between creativity and precision, freedom and discipline, play and seriousness, all necessary, all valued, all taught. South of Egypt, Kush, Nubia, land of gold, land of warriors, sometimes conquered, sometimes conquering, always there, always powerful, always mattering. The 25th dynasty, Nubian pharaohs ruling Egypt from the south, reversing history, inverting power, showing complexity, showing nothing permanent, nothing certain, nothing forever, except change, except flow, except movement, like sleep approaching, inevitable, welcome, natural. Your own boundaries dissolve, north and south, here and there, self and other, all merging, all one, all peace. These Nubian kings built pyramids in Nubia, steeper than Egyptian pyramids, smaller but numerous, declaring, "We too are pharaohs, we too are builders, we too are worthy of eternity, of stone, of remembrance," and they were, they are. We remember, we honor, we acknowledge their rule, their right, their place, in history, in consciousness, in the eternal story of the Nile, of Africa, of humanity. Trade flowed both directions, gold north, grain south, goods south, culture north, influence mutual, relationship complex, not simple conquest, not simple trade, but exchange, deep exchange, over millennia, creating shared culture, related languages, connected destinies. Two lands, one river, one story, different chapters, same book, same ending, same sleep, same peace. Thump, thump, power attracted conspiracy. Palace walls whispered plots. Ramesses III survived assassination attempt, harem conspiracy. Secondary wife sought to place her son on throne. Plotters used magic, wax figures, spells, attempting supernatural murder, political, spiritual, no separation. All failed. Ramesses survived. Conspirators executed, their trial recorded, names preserved, infamy eternal, Hatshepsut's erasure after her death. Thutmose III removed her cartouches, her images, not immediately, years later. Why? Legitimizing his own son's succession. Removing female pharaoh from record. Personal vendetta. We interpret, guess, project our understanding onto ancient silence. Your thoughts quiet, interpretation unnecessary, just drifting, accepting mystery, Akhenaten's revolution. He rejected traditional pantheon, worshipped only Aten, solar disk, moved capital to Amarna, new city, fresh start. Art became naturalistic, showing royal families' physical quirks, elongated heads, full lips, intimate domestic scenes, radical departure, heresy to some, vision to others. After his death, his name erased, temples dismantled, stones reused. Later king lists omitted him, pretending he never existed. His son, Tutankhamun, restored traditional worship, moved capital back to Thebes, undoing revolution, seeking forgiveness from rejected gods, fear, pragmatism, belief, perhaps all three. Cleopatra's son, last pharaoh, Ptolemaic dynasty, Greek rulers of Egypt, 300 years. She spoke Egyptian, first Ptolemy to do so, connected with her subjects, intelligent, educated. Library of Alexandria her playground. She seduced Caesar, bore his son, allied with Mark Antony, bore 3 more children. Politics and passion, inseparable, indistinguishable. Her death, asp, bite, poison. Meeting Antony in afterlife, romantic story, perhaps true, perhaps propaganda. Octavian's victory narrative, whatever the method. Egypt became Roman province. Pharaonic era ended. 3,000 years of civilization, absorbed, transformed, continued differently. Feel history folding, layers pressing together, time becoming thin. Diplomacy shaped Egypt, Amarna letters, clay tablets, correspondence between Akhenaten and foreign rulers, Hittite king, Assyrian king, Canaanite princes requesting gold. Gold is like dust in your land. Negotiating marriages, alliances, threats veiled as politeness. International relations ancient as nations themselves. Battle of Kadesh, Rameses II versus Hittite King Muwatalli, chariot warfare, thousands of soldiers. Rameses claimed victory, carved it on temples, but Hittite records tell different story. Stalemate, perhaps Egyptian retreat. First recorded peace treaty followed. Rameses married Hittite princess. Politics sealed in matrimony, truth flexible, victory subjective. Egyptian medicine mixed empirical observation with magic. Physicians examined, diagnosed, prescribed, but also recited spells, wore amulets, invoked gods. All approaches valid, all necessary. Body and spirit, matter and meaning, holistic before the word existed. Your body heals as you rest, cells renewing, breath deepening, thump, thump. Papyrus texts recorded remedies, Eber's papyrus, 20 meters long, over 700 magical formulas and remedies, treating wounds, diseases, mental disturbances, garlic for strength, honey as antiseptic, willow bark containing salicylic acid, aspirin precursor. They didn't know chemistry, Ross, but knew it worked. Opium poppy soothed pain. Calm crying children, sedation, addiction, dangerous but effective. Doctors knew dosage mattered, instructions specific, measurements precise, harming while healing. The knife edge all medicine walks. Castor oil as laxative, aloe for burns, cumin for digestion, coriander, fennel, fenugreek. Spices weren't just flavor, they were pharmacy. Kitchen and clinic merged. Surgical tools found in tombs, scalpels, forceps, saws, bone surgery performed, skulls showing trepanning, holes drilled, patient surviving, bone healing around the opening, releasing evil spirits, relieving pressure. Both beliefs guided one hand, one tool. Dentistry practiced, tooth decay common, grain containing sand particles, grinding down enamel, abscessing teeth, painful infections, holes drilled to drain, no anesthesia. Imagine endurance required, or perhaps pain so constant. One more agony hardly mattered. Let your jaw relax completely. No tension, no pain, only softness. Contraceptives used. Acacia gum mixed with honey, inserted vaginally. Acidic environment hostile to sperm. Effective, perhaps partially. Intent clear. Women controlling reproduction. Agency over their bodies. Documented, acknowledged, prescribed. Pregnancy test described. Woman urinating on barley and wheat seeds. If barley sprouted, male child. If wheat, female. If neither, not pregnant. Modern testing found slight validity. Pregnant urine contains hormones promoting growth, not gender-specific, but detecting pregnancy. Somewhat accurate. Ancient wisdom, partial truth. Childbirth dangerous. Mortality high. Prayers to Tauret. Hippopotamus goddess. Fierce protector. Amulets worn. Spells recited. Medical attention given. Midwives trained. But some deaths inevitable. Grieved. Remembered. Children buried carefully. Mourned fully. Magic spells address demons causing illness. Flee. Evil one. Do not enter. Naming the demon gave power over it. Describing symptoms. Diagnosing. Was scientific observation. Attributing to supernatural. Spiritual interpretation. Both could coexist. Both did. For millennia. Opet Festival. Thebes' grandest celebration. Amun's statue journeyed from Karnak to Luxor, along the Nile, accompanied by music, dancing, feasting, common people glimpsing the divine, participation, communal joy, the god moving among them, blessing, renewing, connecting heaven to earth. Your breathing becomes rhythm of procession, of celebration, steady, joyful, peaceful, beautiful festival of the valley, honoring the dead. Families cross to West Bank, visiting tombs, bringing offerings, feasting with ancestors, the dead joining the living, boundaries dissolving. For one day, death wasn't separation, just different location, same family, same love, continuing. Wepet Renpet, New Year, Sirius rising, Nile flooding, beginning again, houses cleaned, debts settled, grudges released, fresh start, cosmic and personal, renewal at every scale, festivals of intoxication, Hathor celebrated with beer, wine, music, dance, sacred drunkenness, losing inhibitions, losing ego, merging with divinity, ecstasy literal, standing outside oneself, finding God in abandon, in joy, in release, mystery plays performed, myth of Osiris enacted, his death, Isis searching, resurrection, audiences participating, mourning, celebrating, living the story, making it real again, each year, forever. Repetition creating truth. Performance becoming ritual. Becoming belief. Said festival rare. After 30 years, Pharaoh proving vitality, running, racing, renewing power, public spectacle, reassurance, the king still capable, still worthy, still divine, age fighting, winning temporarily, delaying inevitable, as we all do, as you do now, resting, preserving, lasting, feel your own vitality, quiet now, stored, resting, ready for tomorrow. Harvest festivals thanked gods, Renanutet, Cobra goddess of harvest, Min, fertility god, offerings of first fruits, gratitude, recognition, nothing taken for granted, everything gift, everything sacred, the grain that feeds, the water that flows, the sun that warms, all divine, all miraculous, even in abundance, especially in abundance. Trade routes crossed Sahara, dangerous journeys, days between oases, guides essential, reading landscape, following ancient paths, invisible to outsiders, obvious to those who knew. Incense from Punt, land of God, location debated, Somalia, Yemen, Eritrea, wherever it was, Egyptians prized its products, myrrh trees transplanted, grown in Egyptian soil, expedition to Punt recorded in Hatshepsut's temple, ships loaded, treasures displayed, pride in accomplishment, in reaching distant mystery, in bringing it home. Your consciousness travels far, distant, beyond body, beyond room, beyond time, Nubian gold, from South Kush, sometimes ally, sometimes enemy, sometimes vassal, relationship fluctuating, but gold flowed north, feeding Egyptian appetite, decorating temples, tombs, bodies, gold incorruptible, eternal, like sun, like gods, like souls hope to be, lapis lazuli from Afghanistan, traveling thousands of miles, past trader to trader, transforming, increasing value, until reaching Egypt, where it became sky, became sacred, became the gods' beards, night sky captured in stone, cedar from Lebanon, tall straight trunks. Egypt had palms, acacias, no great timber, ships, temples, coffins, required import, Phoenician cities supplied, growing wealthy, dependent relationship, resources unevenly distributed, creating trade, creating connection, creating conflict. Ebony from deep Africa, dark wood, dense, heavy, prized for furniture, for inlay, for prestige, the rare, the exotic, always valued, always desired, human nature unchanging, across cultures, across centuries, wanting what's distant, what's different, what's difficult to obtain. Nomads moved with seasons, following water, following grazing, different life than settled Egyptians, free, poor, dangerous, envied, scorned, complex attitudes, the wanderer versus the rooted, old tension, old story, each seeing other as lesser, as missing something essential, both right, both wrong. Desert wasn't empty, wasn't void, was inhabited, populated by those who understood it, who loved it, who feared it appropriately. Bedouins, Berbers, names shifting, cultures adapting, surviving, thriving in apparent wasteland, proving life finds way, always, everywhere. Nefertiti. Name means beautiful one has come, Akhenaten's wife, queen, perhaps co-ruler, her bust, found at Amana, sculptor's model, unfinished, one eye missing, yet perfectly capturing elegance, grace, strength, beauty that transcends completion, transcends time, her gaze level, regal, confident, the face launched 1,000 theories, endless fascination. What happened to her? Records unclear. Did she die before Akhenaten? Did she rule as pharaoh briefly, under different name? Did she fall from favor? Mystery wraps her ending. But her image endures, her beauty immortal, her presence felt, even now, even here. As you drift in darkness, thump, thump. Ankhesenamun, Tutankhamun's widow, her letter to Hittite kings survived. My husband is dead. I have no son. Send me one of your sons. He shall be my husband. I will never take a servant of mine and make him my husband. Desperate plea, political calculation, both. The Hittite prince was sent, murdered before reaching Egypt. She disappeared from record, married to advisor, reduced, silenced, lost. Love and power intertwined, inseparable. Marriage as politics, politics as marriage, personal and state merging, no private life, even affection strategic, yet hints of genuine feeling survive in art, in poetry, in whispers between stone lines. Ramesses II and Nefertari, his favourite wife, her tomb most beautiful in Valley of Queens, walls showing her journey through underworld, meeting gods, transformed, radiant. He called her one for whom the sun shines, built temple for her at Abu Simbel, rare honour, queen deified, loved, remembered. His reign lasted after her death, but inscriptions suggest genuine grief, loss, empty space where she stood. Feel that space, empty but full, absence present, paradox of love. Cleopatra and Antony. Shakespeare told story, but Egypt told it first, in different language, different emphasis. Alliance became romance, romance became destiny, defeat, death. Together in ending, as they lived together, ruling, dreaming, building world that couldn't be. Rome wouldn't allow, history wouldn't permit, but for years they tried, loved, fought, lost, together. Love poetry on ostraca, anonymous voices. My heart remembers well your love, all that you promised me. I found my brother in his bed and my heart rejoiced. Brother meaning beloved, relationship poetically familial, intimately chosen, longing transcending time, same ache, same hope, same words, different language, same heart. Thump, thump, marriage contract survived, detailing property, inheritance, divorce terms, practical documents, yet listing affection. I take you as wife. I will not cast you out. Legal and emotional, promise and contract, both necessary, both honoured, both binding. Divorce was possible. Woman could initiate, taking her property, her dowry, starting again, Stigma existed, but not imprisonment. Options remained. Agency acknowledged. Imperfect system, but recognizing women as people, as individuals, capable of choosing, of leaving, of beginning again. Cats sacred to Bastet, kept in homes, temples, honored, protected. Killing cat was crime, punishable by death. Cats mummified, buried in cemeteries. Thousands discovered. Love for small hunters, for grace, for independence, for purring companions, unchanged across millennia. Your breathing soft as cats purr, steady, peaceful, content. Scarab beetle, Kepri, morning sun god. Scarab pushes dung ball, sun god pushes sun across sky. Observation becomes symbol, symbol becomes God. Scarabs carved as amulets, placed over heart, inscribed with spells. Do not testify against me. Protection, hope, carried close, carried forever. Ibis, sacred to Thoth. Wading bird, long curved beak, seen writing in mud, searching for food. Egyptians saw writing, saw wisdom, association eternal. Ibises mummified, offered to Thoth. Millions buried at Saqqara. Devotion expressed in repetition, in numbers, in endless honoring. Falcon, Horus embodied, sharp-eyed hunter, sky ruler. Pharaohs were living Horus, each one, all of them. Falcon imagery everywhere, crowning cartouches, protecting names, spreading wings, sheltering, claiming, divine and mortal, merged in one form. Cobras, Uraeus on crown. Wadjet, protector goddess, spitting fire, defending Pharaoh, defending order, dangerous, deadly, yet also sacred, also honored. Fear and reverence, combined, appropriate, necessary. Some things require both. Hippopotamus, Toweret, protector in childbirth. Despite being dangerous animal, perhaps because of it, power channeled, directed, transformed from threat to guardian. Duality essential, good and evil, not separate, but aspects, perspectives, potentials. Crocodile, Sobek, river predator, death in water, yet also fertility god. Nile's power embodied. To live by river required respecting its dangers, honoring its predators, making peace, finding balance. Survival meant accommodation, meant acceptance, meant worship. Bulls represented strength. Apis bull was sacred, living god, chosen for specific markings. Black with white patches, particular pattern. When found, celebrated. When died, mourned, mummified. Buried in Serapeum, massive sarcophagi, granite, multi-ton. Honoring animal, honoring god, honoring power. Same gesture, same reverence. Boats were essential. Nile was highway, moving north easy. Current carried. Moving south required sails. Wind from north. Blessing. Design. Travel, possible both directions. Connection maintained. Unity achieved through geography, through water, through engineering. Your journey continues, flowing, effortless, carried by current of sleep. Papyrus boats for fishing, daily use. Lashed bundles, buoyant, lightweight. Wooden boats for transport. cedar planking, no nails, pieces fitted together, lashed with rope, sealed with pitch, holding, lasting, carrying cargo, carrying people, carrying hope. Solar boats buried near pyramids, Khufu's boat discovered, disassembled, sealed in pit, 143 feet long, cedar, nearly 5,000 years old, reassembled, displayed. It could still float, still sail, still serve, if needed, if called, patient, ready, eternal. These boats weren't for this life, for next. Ra sailed sky in boat. Pharaoh would join him, sailing, traveling, moving through duat, through challenges, through night, emerging victorious, reborn, each dawn, every dawn, forever. Thump, thump. Model boats placed in tombs, crews of shabti figures, oars ready, sails furled, waiting. Everything needed provided, in miniature, in symbol, in faith. The representation enough, magic making it real, when required, when called, when needed. Fishing boats carried nets, hooks, spears, men standing in shallow water, casting, drawing in, catching life, sustaining life, the cycle, eating fish that ate Nile, Nile that fed plants, plants that fed animals. Everything connected, circle unbroken, flow eternal. Trade boats carried grain, stone, gold, luxury goods, heavy cargo, slow progress, but steady, reliable. Nile never stopped, never rested, always moving, always carrying, patience rewarded, persistence succeeding. Keep going, keep flowing, arrival inevitable, just keep flowing. New kingdom ended, third intermediate period began, Egypt fragmented, multiple rulers, competing claims, unity broken. Libyans ruled north, Nubians conquered from south, civil wars, instability. The center couldn't hold, wasn't holding, fell apart. Your own center holds, body at rest, mind at peace, unity and stillness. Assyrians invaded, conquered, withdrew. Persians conquered, ruled, rebelled against, conquered again. Egypt passed between empires, valuable, desired, possessed, but never quite absorbed. Identity persisting, religion continuing, language surviving, culture adapting, enduring. Alexander arrived, conquered, died young. Generals divided empire. Ptolemy claimed Egypt, founded dynasty, Greek rulers, Egyptian traditions, hybrid culture. Library of Alexandria built, museum, research center, knowledge capital of world, gathering, preserving, learning, until fire, until loss, until silence. Romans came, Cleopatra died, Egypt became province, grain supplier, tax source, tourism destination even then. Greeks and Romans visited pyramids, already ancient, already mysterious, writing graffiti, same as we do, leaving names, proving presence, claiming connection to greatness. Christianity spread, temples closed, priests dismissed, last hieroglyphs carved at Philae, 394 CE, then silence, knowledge lost, language forgotten, symbols becoming decoration, becoming mystery, becoming myth. Egypt became Christian, then Islamic, layers upon layers, each preserving something, changing everything. Napoleon's expedition brought scholars, detailed studies, systematic recording. Rosetta Stone discovered, taken to British Museum, key to lost language, door opening, voices returning, stories retold, Egypt remembered, rediscovered, reborn. In a way, Egyptology became science, became passion, became industry, tourism, museums, endless fascination. Why? What draws us? The age? The mystery? The beauty? The attempted immortality? Perhaps all. Perhaps something else. Something ineffable. Something that whispers to us. Across millennia. Remember, remember. You too will be dust. Make something lasting. Love something eternal. Remember. Beneath the sand, chambers waiting, undiscovered, ground-penetrating radar hints, anomalies, voids, promising, teasing, not yet opened, not yet explored, mystery intact, potential pure. Hawara Labyrinth, described by Herodotus. 3,000 chambers, half underground, half above. More impressive than pyramids, he claimed. Where is it now? Ruined, reduced, but surely not vanished entirely. Somewhere, under sand, under villages, under cultivation, waiting, patient, still. Feel yourself in those chambers, dark, cool, stone embracing, safe. Giza Plateau honeycomb with tunnels, some explored, some sealed, some forgotten, pharaohs built, robbers tunneled, archaeologists searched, each generation adding, modifying, hiding, revealing, landscape of secrets, above ground and below, surface and depth, known and unknown, Osiris shaft beneath Giza, deep chamber, reach through narrow passages, water-filled room, sarcophagus on island, symbolic, tomb of God, ritual space, purpose debated, but beauty undeniable, mystery potent, experience transcendent, standing there, in the deep, in the dark, in the presence of something ancient, intentional, meaningful. Valley of Kings, 63 tombs discovered. How many remain? Valley floor scanned, nothing obvious, but layers exist, one tomb above another, tunnels intersecting, cutting through older work, finding hidden chambers, by accident, by design. Archaeologists keep searching, keep hoping, keep finding. Occasionally, surprisingly, wonderfully, Tomb of Tutankhamun almost missed, hidden under debris from other tomb, workmen's huts built above, obscuring, protecting. Luck preserved it, or curse kept it, depending on belief. Carter found it, opened it. But how many Carters walked over treasures? How many tombs remain sealed? How many voices unheard? Still waiting, still silent, still hoping someone, someday, will listen. Thump, thump, Ma'at, the concept, the goddess, the feather, truth, justice, balance, order, reality itself. When Pharaoh died, Ma'at threatened, chaos approached. New Pharaoh must restore it, re-establish order, recommit to truth, center reality again. Enormous responsibility, divine duty. Every action aligned with Ma'at or opposed it. Moral choices, cosmic implications. Personal behavior affected universe. Individual connected to everything. Your honesty mattered. Your justice mattered. Your balance. Your truth. Not just for you, for existence itself. Breathe in order, breathe out chaos, balance maintained, universe continuing. The negative confession. In the Hall of Two Truths, dead soul recited denials. 42 sins negated. I have not killed. I have not stolen temple offerings. I have not copulated illicitly. I have not caused anyone to weep. Each denial to a different judge. 42 judges, each overseeing one sin. Collective judgment, comprehensive evaluation. Everything considered, everything counted. Heart weighed against feather, single feather, ostrich plume, Ma'at herself. Light, simple, pure. Heart must be light, unburdened by sin, by guilt, by evil. If heavy, devoured. If light, paradise. Balance point between annihilation and eternity. Truth, the only measure, only test, only hope. Living in Ma'at meant proper behavior, respect for parents, charity to poor, honesty in business, justice in judgment, temple offerings, personal restraint, social responsibility. Ethical living wasn't optional, was existential, was survival strategy for self, for society, for universe, all depending on each person's choices, each moment's truth. Let your heart be light. Release burdens, guilt, regret, worry, all dissolving, becoming light as feather, light as breath, light as thought, almost not there, almost gone, drifting, floating, free. Ptolemaic queens held power, behind thrones, in their own right. Cleopatra Thors, Cleopatra II, Cleopatra III, before the famous seventh, dynasty of powerful women, using intelligence, manipulation, charisma, available tools, breaking through constraints, creating space, taking power, keeping it as long as possible. Your own power surrenders gratefully to sleep, to rest, to peace. The labyrinth of Hawara, Amenemhat-III's mortuary complex, called marvel by ancient visitors, pyramid, temple, chambers beyond counting, roof slabs weighing tons, passages winding, confusing, protecting, now mostly gone, quarried, destroyed, lost, but descriptions remain, wonder echoes, making us imagine, making us wish, making us mourn what's vanished. Solar boats not just royal, common people placed model boats in tombs, small, simple, but boats nonetheless. Everyone hoping, everyone needing, everyone travelling same journey. Distinctions of class mattered, yet didn't. Death great leveler, afterlife great hope. Everyone equal before Ma'at, before judgment, before truth. Finally, ultimately, completely. Ben Hassan tombs. provincial nobles, not pharaohs, but decorated beautifully. Wrestling scenes, market scenes, daily life preserved. Reminding us, history isn't just kings, is people, ordinary, extraordinary, living, working, hoping, loving, dying, being remembered, or not, but existing, mattering, being real, being human. Taxation funded everything. Pyramids, temples, armies, officials collected grain, calculated precisely, scribes recorded everything. Economy complex, sophisticated, managed, not primitive, not simple. Advanced administration, mathematics, organization, systems, working, supporting millions for thousands of years. Impressive, inspiring, exhausting to imagine. So don't just drift, just rest. Temple of Isis at Philae, last hieroglyphs carved there. Latest dated inscription, 394 CE, then silence. Language died, religion suppressed, temples closed, knowledge lost, until Rosetta Stone, until decipherment, until voices returned, speaking again, teaching again, telling us. We were here, we lived, we mattered. Remember us, remember. We remember, we do. We're here, listening, learning, drifting through your words, your world, your dreams, your eternal sleep. That isn't death, but transformation, but continuation, but forever. Akhenaten's family dissolved after his death. Nefertiti disappeared. Tutankhamun died young, and Khasenamun vanished. Dynasty ended, revolution undone, names erased, memories suppressed, until archaeology, until discovery, until truth returned, showing erasure fails, memory persists, in stone, in sand, in silence that speaks, to those who listen, who care, who remember. Deir el Medina, workers' village, artisans who built tombs, lived together, worked together, struck once, workers' strike, first recorded in history, demanding wages, rations, respect, common people, making demands, having agency, being heard, history from below, as important as history from above. More important, because more human, more real, more us. Feel that humanity, that connection, across time, across space, across consciousness. We're all the same, different faces, different times, same hopes, same fears, same hearts. Thump, thump, beating together, across centuries, into silence, into peace, into sleep. Flood prediction, reading Nilometer, science, observation, record keeping, mathematics, predicting future from pattern, from past, from measurement, knowledge applied, survival depending on accuracy, on attention, on care. They watched, recorded, learned, survived, thrived for 3,000 years. That's success, that's wisdom, that's worth, remembering, honouring, learning from, as we drift, as we fade, as we sleep in their shadow, under their stars, breathing their air, made new, made old, made eternal. The universe keeps turning. Whispers from ancient Egypt echo eternally. Stars wheel overhead. The Nile flows forever. Sand shifts, but monuments remain. Voices fade, but words persist. We drift together. You and I, you and they, all of us floating through mysteries, through time, through night. 100 ancient Egypt mysteries, looping softly, endlessly, through darkness, into light, into sleep, into dreams, where everything continues, nothing ends. We keep drifting, floating together through the mysteries, and we'll keep drifting, floating together through the mysteries.